up, super friends? Welcome back to another McFarlane DC figure ranking video. My name is Deceptibot9, and today we are going to be taking a look at the figures of Zack Snyder's Justice League made by McFarlane Toys. Zack Snyder's Justice League is the most talked about film event. I don't know if you can call it an event, but it's one of the most talked about films of 2021 just because of the whole situation. Go look at it. It's pretty interesting, with Zack Snyder leaving, some saying that it was rumors of him being forced out of the Justice League film back when it was filming in late 2016, early 2017, only to have Joss Whedon come in and replace him and make a pretty terrible film, and then all these fans rallying for Zack Snyder's version to come out, and finally we get it. And I enjoyed it a lot. I quite liked it a lot, especially compared to the original theatrical release of Justice League. This one blows it out of the water. 4 hours is probably a little too excessive for a lot of people. It felt long for me too, but I had fun with it regardless, and I think it was a much better film than the theatrical release. But we're not here to talk about the film. We're here to talk about McFarlane Toys line of figures. Now, in this ranking, I am not going to be including any of the variants. So like for Batman, this is not the unmasked version, or I'm not going to count the unmasked version and the platinum version and the regular version as different versions. I don't have all three. I only have one. Wonder Woman is not on this list.
Boo! You stink!
Because she technically is not in the Justice League subline. She had her own, and her costume is slightly different, so I'm not going to count her here. Back to the no variants. There's just the regular retail release of Superman, and there's the regular retail release of Darkseid. I don't have the armored Darkseid. I don't have the blue and red Superman. So these are just the regular releases. With that said, go ahead and let me know what your list is down in the comments, and let's get ready.
Amen.
Coming in at number 7, the big bad of the film himself, Steppenwolf, all the way at the bottom of the list. Now, there's nothing particularly wrong about this guy. I think my biggest issues mostly come down, one, some QC on mine. This wrist that holds the axe is very, very stuck, and I can't swivel it. That's one of the big issues for me. The other biggest issue for me with Steppenwolf, and the main reason that he's kind of all the way down at the bottom of the list, is these feet are incredibly tiny for a figure this size and of this weight, with these tiny, tiny little feet and these toes that barely do anything in terms of stability. He's very incredibly difficult to stand and to pose in something that's not just a straight up standing pose. And oftentimes I'll have to use one, if not two, of the included stands that come in every figure on the bottom of his feet in order for him to stand properly. He's just a pain to stand. The tiny feet, his big size, makes it really hard. And when it's hard to pose a figure because of something like that, it makes it a little less enjoyable because you're trying to find a way just to make him stand rather than put him into some sort of cool pose. The things I do like about Steppenwolf, though, is I love the way his axe looks. I think that is a terrific looking accessory, and overall I just like the way he looks. He's molded very well. He has lots of nice sculpted detail all over his body. The way these lines in there are all over his body. They're very intricately placed, and the detail on him is absolutely insane. Getting into like his fleshy bits, his hands, and even his face, those also look very, very incredible. And so he's a mixed bag. Steppenwolf's a mixed bag. Maybe you have more success posing him.
Amen.
Coming in at number 6, the Scarlet Speedster himself, Flash. Now we're getting into figures that I don't necessarily have problems with. It's just a matter of who I like better overall. And the Flash here, well, he looks fantastic. His colors are nice. The detail that's molded on him is quite good. And he got, of course, his funny looking running hands. Plastic that's on it's his waist plastic. Seems like it's a little loose. It's a little too big. So it looks a little funny if he's not like in a running pose. It's kind of like he's wearing a size or two too big clothes underneath. But one of the things that Flash has that I'm not really a fan of is his running accessories. They don't really have a way to clip in very well. Unlike the comic version of the Flash, where he had holes in the side of his arms and his legs and everything tabbed in, so it was nice and secure. His are just held on by some soft plastic curved lightning pieces, and when you put them on and off, they kind of open up and then they get loose, and so they don't really stay in the position you want them to stay in. So I don't really display him with the speed effects all that often, but he does look quite nice overall, especially when you get him into a super cool running pose. How else are you going to pose the Flash?
Amen.
Coming in at number 5, we're breaking into the top 5, is the Man of Steel himself. Like I said in the beginning, this is the regular retail release, the black suit Superman, which is a great look on Superman, and particularly on the Henry Cavill Superman in the film. And it's not bad. It's not my favorite Superman body. That has to go to Bizarro, but that would have looked very weird for a movie version. So this one doesn't look too bad. It looks very nice, very proportioned to how he looked in the film. I had to complain about one thing. It is these hands that they give him, especially like these open hands. They've reused them, at least from the one I know is from the Red Sun Superman. I'm sure they've used it on a couple other Supermans too. I just don't get Superman all that often. It's small and it looks kind of dumb. So I wish they had a more normal size hand in there, but overall, I mean, he looks great. He looks like Superman, especially in the black suit. The blue and red suit version also looks quite nice, and I think if I had found that one first, I might have grabbed this one first, but I still hadn't seen the blue and red version. I don't think I have seen it at all, so the black version suits just fine.
Amen.
All right, coming in at number 4, the Lord of Apocalypse himself, Darkseid. Again, this is just the regular standard release. I did really want the armored up Darkseid version as well. Haven't found him, haven't had a chance, missed him on the online stocks and everything, but I can't complain here because this Darkseid looks absolutely fantastic. I love this spear accessory. I just love the way he looks. All the detail in his flesh parts, like up here on the chest, arms, the face also, that head sculpt is so nice. It's really, really good. And he looks so intimidating on a shelf, especially if you're going to put him in front of all the other Justice League. Even without the armor here on the front, he just looks so nice. He's really big. He's a lot bigger than I thought. This was kind of my first big McFarlane here. All my other ones are the regular, 7-inch scale. This is my first big deluxe one. I hadn't done any of the Build-A-Figures yet. Now, if you've seen my previous video, I have King Shark. So I was really impressed with the size of Darkseid and how great he looked and the posability you got out of him at this size. I really like this Darkseid.
Amen.
Coming in at number 3, we're into the top 3. We've got Cyborg, and this guy is so fun, so good. This is, again, just the standard retail release. Not the Target exclusive version with the full face covering, but when I got this guy, I couldn't get enough of him. I absolutely love this. I love all the detail that is sculpted in everywhere. All the cybernetic detail on him just looks absolutely amazing. It looks so good. He looks great in pretty much any pose you're gonna put him in. I can't go wrong with him. He comes with an alternate arm where it's a regular arm instead of the gun, but that gun arm looks absolutely fantastic. I have a special connection with Cyborg, with specifically McFarlane Cyborg, because the Teen Titans McFarlane Cyborg, I think, was the first McFarlane Toys DC figure that I bought and really kind of hooked me. So I had to get movie Cyborg, of course, because also one of my favorite characters from that movie is Cyborg. This figure's great. He looks absolutely incredible. I have so much fun messing around with him, putting him in poses, and he looks fantastic.
Amen.
Which leads us to number 2, King of the Seas, my personal favorite DC Comics character of all time, Aquaman. And this guy, I love this guy. I might be a little biased just because of how much I love Aquaman, but This McFarlane Aquaman is so good. The head sculpt, of course, just like most McFarlane Toys head sculpts, could use a little bit of work, but the detail and all the armor looks very nice. The color is super good. The flimsy weapon, what are you going to do? That's a McFarlane thing. I wish he would make them out of a little bit, harder materials, because you see there's quite a bit of bend going on here. But I love posing Aquaman around into different poses. You can put him on a stand, make him look like he's jumping out of the water, or you can have him thrusting the trident forward. So many cool things you can do with Aquaman, and he looks absolutely incredible. And I really want McFarlane to put out some more Aquaman figures. If we can get a classic Aquaman figure from McFarlane, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Which leads us to number 1, the figure that I did not know I was going to have the hardest time getting, and I also did not expect him to be my number 1, although I should have, of course. It is the Dark Knight himself, Ben Affleck, Batman. This guy is awesome. He looks so good in nearly every pose that I have found to put him in. He just looks so good. He looks literally like he jumped straight out of the screen. The detail through the armor, that head sculpt is honestly, with this half of the Ben Affleck face, is probably the best head sculpt I've seen from McFarlane, and he just looks great all up and down. The whole thing looks phenomenal. In just a static standing pose, he looks very intimidating and very stoic. Put him in some fighting poses, he looks like he's going to beat you up, so you better watch out. This Batman is super good, and it really makes me want to go get a million other Batmans so I can just have a nice Batman shelf and they all look super nice and intimidating together. Yeah, I like this Batman a lot. It's probably my favorite McFarlane Batman that they've made, and it's my favorite from the Justice League line. All right, everybody, that is my McFarlane Toys Justice League figure, Zack Snyder's Justice League figure ranking. Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. How would you rank this differently? Would you put any of them higher? Would you put any of them lower? Do you agree with my choices overall? That's what I want to know down in the comments below. That's all I've got for you guys today, and I will see you all next time.